Every great story begins with a dream, and often a setback. This is the story of a man who didn't just build technology, he built belief. His name was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was born in 1955, but his story began with heartbreak. He was given up for adoption at birth, but life sent him to Paul and Clara Jobs, a loving couple who raised him in a small home filled with curiosity. As a boy, Steve spent hours taking apart radios, fixing them, and asking why. One night, under a sky full of stars, he looked out the window and whispered, "Someday, I'll do something great." Steve wasn't the best student, he got bored easily, but he loved learning, real learning. In his father's garage, he discovered the beauty of building things. His dad told him, "Make even the inside beautiful, even if no one will see it." That lesson shaped his life forever. Years later, Steve went to college and quickly dropped out. Not because he failed, but because he wanted to learn his own way. He slept on floors, collected Coke bottles for spare change, and took calligraphy classes, simply because he found them beautiful. He didn't know it then, but those curves and spaces of letters would one day shape the soul of the Macintosh. "You can't connect the dots looking forward," he would later say. "You can only connect them looking backward." In 1976, a small garage became the birthplace of a revolution. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak built the first Apple computer by hand. Their dream wasn't just to sell machines, it was to make technology human. They wanted computers not to feel cold or complex, but personal, something you could fall in love with. Apple grew fast, and for the first time, the world was watching. But success can be cruel. By 1985, Apple's board of directors decided that Steve Jobs, the man who built it all, no longer belonged there. He was fired from his own company. The pain was deep, but he said later, "It was the best thing that could have happened to me, because it set him free." Steve started again, this time building ideas. He founded Next, a company too advanced for its time, and he bought a small animation studio, one filled with dreamers and artists. Together, they created something magical, a story about toys that come alive when humans aren't looking. It wasn't just a movie. It was the birth of a new kind of storytelling, one where technology and emotion dance together. That studio would one day be called Pixar. In 1997, Apple was falling apart, and then destiny called. Steve came back, not angry, but wiser. He simplified everything, reignited creativity, and taught his team to believe again. From his return came the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad. He didn't just save a company, he changed how the world connects, creates, and dreams. Steve Jobs wasn't perfect. He could be demanding, impatient, and relentless. But above all, he believed in excellence. He believed that art and technology belong together. In his famous speech at Stanford, he said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." That message wasn't just advice, it was his life. Steve Jobs passed away in 2011, but his spirit never left. Every time you swipe a screen, hear a chime, or design something beautiful, a piece of him lives on. His life was proof that you can be rejected, fail, fall, and still rise, if you love what you do. This is not the story of a man who made computers. It's the story of a boy who believed. Because sometimes it's the crazy ones who really do change the world. This is Pages of Life, where every dream begins with a single, imperfect, beautiful step forward.